You mentioned torture. You actually recently wrote about a new Inspector General report on how the Justice Department is actually handling all the revelations made from the Senate torture report. And it's not good. Tell us about the report on the report, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think this was the first kind of complaint, but we had a formal letter written by Amnesty International USA to the Inspector General of the Justice Department asking or requesting that there be an investigation into the Justice Department and why they are not doing their job, which should be to investigate and prosecute criminal misconduct that happened with torture, which we know has been clearly documented by the Senate Intelligence Committee report. And we saw the executive summary. We saw a censored or redacted version of this back in December, which had incredible revelations in it, including things like the most horrific example that I still can't get out of my head is that there are people who were engaging in rectal rehydration or rectal feeding, which means that they were taking their arms and putting them in the rectums of Guantanamo prisoners and essentially raping them and sexually assaulting and using this tactic or to control, to bring prisoners under greater control of prisoners. It was abusive. There was no medical necessity for doing this to anybody. And so you got that as a glaring example of something that deserves investigation of what was happening. And it's a clear violation of international law. It flies in the face of Geneva Conventions and also laws that would be on the books here that would discourage torture. And yet the Justice Department has not done anything. Apparently, well, here's the other thing is they're not taking this seriously. On one hand, if you're a journalist who wants to get more parts of this torture report released, the Justice Department is telling a court that, it's looked it over, it's taken this seriously, but it, I'm sorry, let me back that up. I got this flipped. So the deal is that for the courts, we've never opened it. We've got this in a CD. We've got this in an envelope. It's still sitting in a safe. We've never looked at it. But when in public, when talking to congresspeople, you'll have the FBI director and other officials from the Justice Department claiming that they take this very seriously, that they had their own little team go through the report and investigate it, and everything matters to them. And but we're already moving on. We're not going to go back and relitigate the past and look at what kind of abuse or torture may have been done by CIA officers.
Yeah, it's so. What's so sick about this whole entire thing is just how deep it runs through so many different levels of our government. Not merely just the executive, not merely the CIA, not merely the people who did the torture and the people who authorized the torture, but the people who are letting it continue and not actually seeking justice, just saying, we're going to look forward, we look back, we're not going to look backward, shrug our shoulders and, hey, we tortured some folks kind of mentality. The lack of searching for justice in so many levels of the government is really, really discouraging.
Yeah, and the Justice Department was part of it.
Yeah.
Part of the other key thing about the letter to the Inspector General is pointing out that, look, the Senate documented times that they were giving wrong legal advice to the CIA. If that wasn't deliberate, they were giving wrong advice, or deliberately they were stretching their legal advice to make it possible for the CIA to torture people.